Hello everyone, Touhoua here. Welcome back to another video of Pokemon TCG Pocket. And today I'm going to be asking this question to you all. Is this event too difficult where it requires you to win 5 matches consecutively? And you get 1 week to do this event. It came out December 8th PST and it ends on December 16th. There's a time difference there. I don't really know the differences. Do you know that it does end on the 16th, which is next Monday? What do you think? Is it too hard? Let me answer it for you guys. I have a yes answer and a no answer. Is it harder than this event where you had to win 4 to 5 matches? It definitely is a lot harder. The first PvP event that we got was about like a month long. It's like the November 7th until the 28th. And all you had to do was win 45 times. You could lose in between matches and still get this golden emblem pretty easily. Even though you're still going off against a lot of meta decks, there are sometimes it is not meta. A lot of people are just testing their decks. But in this event, you have to win 5 times consecutively and you don't know what kind of decks you're going up against. It could be all meta. You might get to your 4th match and lose that final match to a meta deck, and that will be very disappointing. That's what makes this event very hard, is the meta decks. And that's my first point as to why this event is pretty hard, because you're going up against Mewtwo's, Pikachu's, Starmie's, and Charizard decks. These decks are very, very good, very consistent, do a lot of damage, very easy to get energy. A lot of them require no energy to retreat. They're all very good, and if you go up against them in this event time, you're gonna have a tough time. I luckily did not have to go against any of these decks. I think I did go up against a lot of like water decks, but they weren't really drawing the cards. Like I went up against Blastoise decks though, I think, not really Stormies. Like it wasn't really focused on Stormies, and then I didn't go up against any of the other three here. These 4 decks are meta decks. So Mewtwo, you have Mewtwo and Gardevoir. Gardevoir allows you to put an energy on your active Pokemon, but they have to be psychic. And Mewtwo and Gardevoir together, it's just a dream come true. They just work so well together. Pikachu deck is it's so easy to summon them. They're all basic Pokemon. Zapdos EX is a basic Pokemon. If you have Pokeball, you can get Pikachu or Zapdos EX. It's just really insane. And Pikachu does 90 damage total if you have 3 bench Pokemon on you. So Starmie deck, 2 Starmies, and then Articuno. I mean, Articuno, so easy. It's a basic Pokemon too. Easy to get out. Starmie, no retreat cost. It's insane. Does a lot of damage. And Charizard decks, it's really good right now. I keep losing with my fire deck because I kept playing it wrong and my cards were not right. I think I had too many Ninetales in the deck. I took one out and now it's pretty consistent. It's so good. I have 2 Moltres and 2 Charizards, of course, and then 1 Ninetales in the deck. It's slapping. It's such a good deck right now. That's why it's like top meta right now too. A lot of people play this deck with Arcanine, but I don't know. I prefer Ninetales. But yeah, these decks, if you go up against them and you're on your 4th match, good luck to you. Just hope they don't draw their cards. All right, and then the next thing is FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like I said, the limited time that you get for this event is stupid. You only get 1 week. I don't know why they couldn't start this on the fire event, you know? The fire event when they had Charizard and Arcanine and the Wonder Pick, and all you get is that flare. They could have started the event during that same time so that you get more time to do this event, because it's not easy. It's not easy like winning just 4 to 5 matches outright, and you get a whole 2 weeks for that event for some reason, but not this one. Then again, I do understand, because like I wanted to point this out earlier, but now's a good time. After this event, the 16th, the new pack comes out. And I think that's why they're ending this event at that time. So you have more time to open packs, more time to spend money on the game versus a free event where you only get an emblem. That's what I'm assuming it would be. Having such a short event does cause FOMO. And like I said, it's the fear of missing out. And it has a bunch of negative effects there that you can read yourself here. Unhappiness, unhealthy behaviors. It's just very bad for your mental health. So if you have that mentality, just know that it's just a game at the end of the day. You don't need this. It's not a requirement to survive in your daily life, you know. So just try to cut that out of your mind and just think of something else. I am pretty disappointed that this event is only 1 week long. It could have been longer. Again, it's not an easy event either. So just make sure you know that you don't need this. It's just a game. It's just an emblem. It's just for decoration. All right. And the next thing is more money, no problems in this game. That's what it is, baby. Obviously, this game is a gacha game. It does require money to pull more packs. If you already pull your 2 free packs that you get daily, and if you're subscribed, you get 4 packs. Mainly just 3 though, because it takes forever for that 4th pack to come back in the same day. But anyways, The more money you have, the more chances of getting better cards. Look at this Mewtwo. You know, like when I drew the sunglasses on Mewtwo, I realized that his ears is up here. So I don't know how the sunglasses is gonna stay on. There's a limit to how much gold you can spend in a game. I think per week. I could be wrong. I don't remember, but there's 720 limits of gold, but you're only allowed to spend that much per week. And I really can't remember if it's a week or a daily. It doesn't really matter because if you have money, then you have better luck of drawing better cards, and with better cards, you get the good decks, the meta decks, the better decks. That's just another thing. At the end of the day, you can still get lucky and draw these cards yourself with the 2 free packs that you get. Like for me, when I was first playing, I used all of my hourglasses and I got a lot of good cards already. And I got pretty much like the main three meta decks, which was Starmie, Pikachu, and Mewtwo. And you can see like from my progress and all my previous videos, I got really, really lucky with my draws. I didn't have to spend any money on it. But like I said, with more money, you get better chances of drawing better cards. And then here's some reasons why it's not too difficult right now. It's because first, the community is helping by conceding. There's a news article that I read earlier about this whole event. Is that like a lot of the community has come together, and if you have the golden emblem already, you can just go into the event and concede for your opponent so that they can get the emblem as well. Because this is a pretty short event and it's tough to do. By doing that, you're helping out the Pokemon community and making people happy. So that's what I've been doing too. Okay, actually, so one thing I love to do before I concede is to play my chord and to see if they're actually gonna try to play. I actually want them to do a little bit of work before I concede, but most of the times when I do that, they concede anyway. So I felt kind of bad. So I just started conceding in the beginning. That's just how I like to do it. It's pretty fun. All right, the next thing is there are pretty decent rogue decks. These are some really, really good rogue decks. These are the ones that I enjoy playing. My Executor deck with the Butterfree, it is insanely good. Butterfree just sits on the sideline and heals your Executor. I don't see that many Charizard decks. I see a lot of Mewtwo and Pikachu, and they don't have the weakness, so they're very good against Mewtwo, Starmie, Pikachu. And then you have the Crew Ninja deck. It's Tentacruel and Greninja together and the team. Tentacruel is there to poison, and then Greninja is to sit in the back and just shoot water shurikens all day. It's so good. Okay, so all of these decks, they work if you can get it running. Any card game is going to require luck. And if you don't draw your cards, of course, you're not going to win. But if you draw your cards right, then you're always going to be a step ahead of your opponent. And then you have the Ninetales and Blaine deck that I use for the Venusaur events. It's so good. I just use it for the Venusaur. Like this deck is like a speedy deck. Ninetales does so much damage, and then you also have a Magmar and the Ponytas plus Blaine that does 30 additional damage. It is so fast. They don't require that much energy either. You could have Moltres in here, EX, but for this one I don't use EXs. And then you have the Marowak. I did say Machop or Marowak because if you replace Marowak with a Machop, it will still work. Marowak is just better in this deck because it only requires 2 energy and it does 80 damage and an additional 80 if you can flip a heads. And then it has Primip in the deck too. And these are all pretty easy to get, guys. And then we have the Weezing deck. This deck is so good against Mewtwo decks. So if you want to counter the Mewtwo, this is the deck for you. You have 2 Mucks, 2 Weezings, and 1 Wigglytuff. It's insane. If you haven't seen my video yet of me clearing this event, I used this against another dark deck though. I wish I could have went up against a Mewtwo deck with this one, but after I went back and did some more with this deck, it slaps. It does so much damage to Mewtwo. It's really good because the poison, it lingers on a Mewtwo, and if they don't retreat the Mewtwo, then they just end up eating all that damage. These decks are pretty good and pretty consistent when you get it rolling. It's just a step below the meta decks in consistency, but once these decks go, they just go. It's awesome. That's why like I believe it's possible to do with these decks. All right, and the next thing is if you're just collecting cards, this event is not necessary. You don't have to do this event if you don't want to. It's just an emblem. It's just a decoration. It just tells people that you completed the event. I'm not telling you what to do. Like if you want to grind for this, go ahead and do it. I did it. And if you're lucky, people will concede for you as well in the event. It's just at the end of the day, again, a decoration. Ingrain that in your head. It's not going to make your luck better. It's not going to make your Pokemon do a lot more damage. It's just a decoration, all right? So just know that. And if you're just collecting cards, save your sanity, your luck, for the new pack that's coming out next Monday. I'm excited for that. But there was a Reddit post that I kind of agree with. Should I just read it maybe? Or yeah, how about I just read it? So the win streak event is optional. I know there's a few posts discussing the wingers and complainers already, and the intention is not to rant and to add to the negative space. But for the last weeks, most people have complained about lack of content or reason to play the game because it was too casual. And I remember that. I do remember that. A lot of people were complaining about the ranked matches because it was all just EXs. That's why the community created private matches called no EX. If you put no EX all into the password, you will go against players that abide by that rule. For the majority of my experience, there are a lot of players that will follow the rules where is that the private match that you enter is all just no EX Pokemon, and that has been pretty cool and pretty neat. That should become a actual match where you can move the settings around a little bit, where it's no EX and stuff like that. But yeah, some felt the game wasn't challenging enough, or there was a lack of reason to battle. But that also was because there's only like 3 meta, and there's a lack of cards. That's why hopefully when the new pack comes out, this changes and we get like a better game mode, or at least they add the no EX game mode. That'd be very, very cool. But yeah, some were disheartened that there was no prize at the end of the expert challenges against the NPC. If they're talking about solo battles, then yeah, I can understand. All you get is hourglasses and more hourglasses and some flirt points, I think. But you don't get anything too shockingly good at the end, which I understand. The fun of getting cards is coming from opening packs. I don't know where I stand on that. I don't mind not getting like a big prize at the end, but getting like the other classes to open packs is already pretty good enough for me. Like I don't demand anything more than that, to be honest. I mean, getting a card would be nice, but I think the fun is coming from opening packs anyway. If you think about it, the devs came out with a solution, giving a 1 week optional, it's bolded here, challenge that gives an emblem instead of a limited drop card. And yes, it's not supposed to be a walk in the park. Why does it need to be? Yeah, I do agree with that. Like, it's not going to be easy. If you go into other card games and expect it to be easy, then you're not playing the game. I've played a lot of gacha games where you're required to win consecutively, and I've never won, and I didn't really cry about it. I don't really care. You just gotta take the loss. But they do last longer in other games than this freaking event, though. I don't know why they made it only 1 week. They could have made it a lot longer. That's just my complaints. But I'm not gonna complain that it's tough. It will always be tough when you're playing a PvP game. You're playing against other people. And if you decide not to play at worst, you miss out on an emblem. The rest of the hour classes and dust can be formed without getting the 5 win streak. So progress is not gated by the event. That's something I love about the event. The reward hourglasses and the flare is not gated by the events. You just have to win a certain amount of battles to get those items. For the hourglasses, you just have to play a certain amount of battles. So that's pretty cool. It makes it easier to get the hourglasses to pull for packs. And that's mainly what this game is truly about, is opening packs and getting that satisfaction when you open that pack and see what kind of cards you draw. Oh yeah, so it's not like there's a crown rare Snorlax, which would be kind of cool. Would be kind of cool, but Snorlax is pretty bad in this game. It requires too much energy to attack and too much energy to retreat. It doesn't affect your ability to keep pulling your 2 packs a day or finish your Pokedex. If this isn't the mountain you want to climb, well, then don't. Well, don't then. I kind of misread that. I definitely agree with that. I do just believe that the event should be longer, but I do agree with pretty much everything else. It is optional at the end of the day. If you want it enough, grind for it. Hopefully you get lucky. Like a lot of people will have that luck where you're just playing one of these decks and you'll get all the 5 wins. A lot of the community is helping by conceding. So if you get lucky, you will eventually get it. All right, guys. There's a lot to be desired with these events. I don't really enjoy the PvP because I get very, very irritated. I get tilted if things don't go my way. And I do play a lot of decks that require coin flips, which I do not like. But I will still play because it is fun to use them and they're very good. A lot of the Pokemon in this game, like a lot of the good ones, require coin flips. They're pretty consistent even without the coin flips. So yeah, guys. Hope you guys like my little document here. I put it all together, a lot of pictures that I had to copy and paste. And we get here to the last page, which is just a giant dot for your opinions. It's all blank because I need your opinions on what you think about the event. If you think it's too hard or too easy, and if you just want to get rid of this event totally, let me know it in the comments below. And with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed today's video and today's opinions from me and from some of the community, let me know. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video, in the next pack opening for sure, starting Monday. I can't wait. All right. With that being said, though, bye everyone.